Hi everyone, welcome and thanks for joining us for the SportsSignup New Features Sneak Peek webinar. My name is Christina Pierce and I'm the Business Development Manager for SportsSignup. Joining me is Matt Scarkelli. He's our co-founder and Vice President of Sales.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining tonight. Thanks for the intro, Christina.
Together we're going to be giving you a glimpse at the new features that will be available in all of your systems next week. So before we get started, I just wanted to give a little bit of history. I know that most people that are on the call tonight have been with SportsSignup for a long time. A lot of you have anyway. And you've been around to hear all the communications about this merger that we've had, or the acquisition rather, of League Toolbox that happened a few months back. But we do have a lot of people on the call tonight that are new to SportsSignup as customers, or they're just reviewing our services for the first time. So I wanted to just give a little bit of background so you can understand how we come to be on this webinar tonight. SportsSignup has been around for 10 years, providing online registration services. In 2006, we added KidSafe Plus, which is our background check system. From the beginning, we have focused most of our attention on being the best at what we do, and that's providing very in-depth services as far as online registration tools that can satisfy, small leagues or big regional organizations that have lots of accounts under them. So we really wanted to be the best at that, and we think we succeeded in that, quite honestly. But it didn't stop people from asking us for other things, like all the features that we're going to review tonight. And it finally became apparent that we should really make them available, whether we build them ourselves or buy a company that does those particular features or has those particular features, and they do them well. We found League Toolbox after lots and lots of looking, and League Toolbox has been on the market since 2007. Providing great service to hundreds of customers. So over the past few months, we've been working very hard to integrate their services into our existing product set, so online registration, KidSafe Plus, and store and so forth. Matt will go over all of that in a couple minutes. But that's just a little glimpse. I mean, you'll be able to see how our product set has remained, and then the new stuff seamlessly has been added. I'm going to cover three main topics, and first one is going to be new system appearance and navigation. That's really just for the admin pages. There's not going to be any change for your families or for your coaches, so it's just for you guys. The next one are the major new features. These are the things that people have been asking for forever, so we know that you're excited. We're really excited. And that's websites with content management system, CMS. So the CMS is going to let you build out your websites really easily, all by yourself. And then, of course, the scheduling and the score reporting and stats and standings and all of that stuff integrates seamlessly with the websites. So it's very cool. And the last thing is are the new pricing options, and they're flat rate pricing options if you so choose to go in that direction. So now I'm going to hand it over to Matt, and he's going to take us through all the cool new stuff.
Thanks, Christina. Appreciate it. And thanks for taking care of all that stuff that I hate talking about, all the history and blah, blah, blah. Now, everybody logged on to see all the cool new stuff, and I'm lucky enough to be able to run that part of the demo. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So as Christina said, for 10 years we've been the industry leader for online registration and background checks. And with the addition of these new features that we're going to talk about shortly, and that we'll discuss tonight, we are now positioning ourselves as the one solution that you're going to need to manage your sports organization. So let's talk about what that means for just a minute or two. So as our value proposition changes to becoming your one solution for league management, you will continue to have access to the robust feature set that SportsSignup has always offered, such as a deep registration system, as well as a completely integrated volunteer background check system that we refer to as KidSafe Plus. For those of you who don't use it or are not aware, KidSafe Plus allows you to manage registration and volunteer background checks all in the same system, all in one place. Again, back to that one concept. Our KidSafe Plus system will force volunteer positions actually, that you've identified to require a background check as part of the volunteer registration process. The KidSafe Plus includes online registration for the background check. It includes real-time submission to the background check company, a social security number verification so we can make sure that we're doing the background check on the right person, a verified national criminal file search including the sex offender registry, a complete case management system to help you maintain your FCRA compliance, and all that integrates into your rosters. Again, managed all in one place. SportsSignup also offers an integrated online store. Just like background checks are integrated into registration, a storefront can be presented to each registrant as part of the registration process. No more sending people off to third-party vendors or having them fill out paper registration forms and flyers. You can sell anything you want through the store. You can sell anything from tickets to a ball game that your organization is going to go to uniforms, to spirit wear. It's a store at your disposal. Also, SportsSignup supports coaches and administrators sending emails and text messages. We support private team communication also through what we refer to as Team Chat. Team Chat's very cool, and it's a private way for parents to communicate with each other in a persistent, secure manner. In the past, it's always been coach to player or coach to parent, I should say, and maybe parent to coach, but it was hard for the parents to communicate with each other, and we've solved that problem with Team Chat. And of course, now comes the drum roll. To complete that all-in-one cycle, we're adding certain features to our system, and we're very, very excited to announce the expansion of our product portfolio to include integrated websites, automated and integrated scheduling, as well as stats and standings. Remember, the site is customizable, so your organization, if your organization doesn't care about stats and standings, you can simply remove those tabs from your website. Along with league scheduling, we're also supporting tournament scheduling. So tournaments could have different meanings to different folks, so you could complete your regular season and then have a playoff at the end, just in-house, or you could have a very competitive tournament where you invite teams from around the area to participate. Both of those scenarios are going to be supported. So we are definitely moving into positioning ourselves as the one online sports management system. Now that we've talked about what the one means, let's talk about some of the details and the details of the new things that are coming. But before we talk about optional features like websites and scheduling, we need to talk about what's changing for all SportsSignup customers. All customers will benefit from two specific changes, and they're really good changes. First, I'm really happy to say that we're changing our administrative dashboard to be more user-friendly and more kind of 2014. And we're also changing your welcome page just slightly. So why did we make these changes? Why did we move the administrative menu from the top to the left? Well, two major reasons. First was to make the navigation easier for administrators. And the second was to accommodate all the new menu items that we require to deal with the new features. Now, relax, don't get scared. Your administrative abilities won't change at all. You won't lose any of your current capabilities. We've just moved things around to make things easier to find and easier to navigate. Now, to be clear, these are not optional changes. All customers will benefit from these changes, and you don't have to do anything to enable them. It's just going to happen on August 6th, so next Wednesday. Also, to be clear, this does not change anything for your end users or your families. So what did we do? Basically what we did is we took the top menu bar and we moved it from the top to the side with a series of collapsible and retractable menus. So the top horizontal menu bar moved to a left justified navigation panel, more in line with what you see in most websites. So again, very user-friendly, very easy to use. You're gonna love this once you start tooling around in it. The second change was to your welcome page. And here's what your old welcome page looked like. So you have kind of the maroon click here to register button that you're all familiar with, and the dynamically driven information based on registration, open and close dates, and then your static information for your welcome page. Now what changes, your new page looks similar to this. You'll still have your dynamically generated information. You'll still have your static information that you can put in. Your register online button changes a little bit. You'll notice that the border and the wrapper around the outside changes, and a login button for folks also up here if they already have an account. So not a ton of changes to the welcome page, but enough for you to be aware of. You do also need to be aware that your URL will not change. You don't have to do anything. All right, now the fun stuff. This is why you've all logged in, and thanks for being patient while we got through the things that we had to get through. And now we get to talk about those new features. And just to be clear, and to iterate what Christina said earlier, these are not really new features. They're new to SportsSignup, but they've been used by over 700 customers for the last 4 years that used the League Toolbox system. So we are enjoying a mature system at plugging it into the SportsSignup system where it's not an immature, unused thing. Let's start with customizable websites and see what they look like. So the customizable websites, you get to control your header, you get to control the wrapper, you get to control what menu items show at the top. You get to put in, you get to put in a picture, and you get to put in a slideshow here. You get to upload your own forms if there are paper forms that are still required. You get to put in the links to your social media. Because it's an integrated website, all of the information is dynamically generated from the schedule. And if you went to registration information, all of the information would look like that welcome page that we just saw. You have the ability to edit all of those things. So the customizable background, the integrated sponsors, the slideshow experience, customizable menu structure, the social media integration, the dynamic events and schedule postings, and again, everything is dynamically populated, or generated, I should say, from the registration information and from the scheduling information. Very, very cool. This is a sports-specific website. It's not some CMS that you're pulling off the shelf, and it's 100% integrated with the schedule and 100% integrated with the registration system. We're really, really excited about this, and we know that once you start poking around at it, that you're going to be excited about it too, which is why we've given you the ability to get a trial account. But I'm going to hold my tongue. I'm going to let Christina talk about trial accounts later, and we're going to talk a little bit more about websites. So you have one main organization website. If you as administrators choose, you can flip a switch and let each of the teams in your league have their own website. Very cool. Very, very cool actually, because the dynamically generated schedule will be specific to the team of the website that you go to. So if I go to the Little Blue Jays website, I'm going to see the Little Blue Jays schedule. If I've enabled stats and standings and statistics, all of the information on the Little Blue Jays website is going to be specific to the Little Blue Jays. Very cool. The Little Blue Jays also, if they wanted to go to I don't know, maybe they want to go to a tournament and they need to do some fundraising, they can sell their own sponsor ads on their own websites also, which is very neat. So you have your own main website and you have team websites, and there's no additional fee for each team to get their own website. Team websites, you can put up pictures, and the coach can put up pictures specific to the team and their practice schedule and all that stuff. So the scheduling feature is what's next. So we've talked a lot about the website and how it's integrated with the scheduling feature. So let's talk about the scheduling feature. Very robust, and it starts with setting up your resources, and we call resources your fields. So it could be fields, but it could be rinks, or it could be baseball diamonds, or whatever. So you create your resources and locations. You can also create sub-locations, and you can create field availability, and you can set availability blocks, and you can create blackout dates for fields, and you can set blackout dates in general, not related to the fields. So you have the ability to control all this when you're setting your schedule. Once you put all the parameters in place, you can go ahead and actually create the schedule. The schedule, you can schedule league games, you can schedule tournaments, you can schedule all kinds of different things. You can seed teams, you can give teams buys, you can add games to an already created schedule, you can add practices, you can add non-game related events like league picnics. Schedules can be created, auto-created, and then manually overridden if they need to be. You can set field closures and rainouts and automatic emails to families that are affected by the rainouts or field closures, which is very, very cool. And I want to drill home that point that if you create a schedule in the system and you rain out a field or a game, when you do that, you get the option of emailing and/or text messaging the affected team or teams related to that. The schedules they can be division specific, they can be session specific, whatever you want. It's very cool to use. Before I go to this next side of the public view of the schedule, I want to talk about one other way. So I talked a lot about automated scheduling. I'm sure a lot of your organizations are competitive and they play teams from other places and you don't create the schedule and somebody else does. There's also the ability for you to import schedules into the system. So all of those team websites would populate automatically as long as we map everything appropriately. So that's very interesting and very cool also. So the team websites will still benefit from external schedules being imported into the system. So here's what a public view of a schedule looks like. The public can view a schedule as a calendar view, as a list view. They can sync the schedules to their Outlook calendars or their iCals. If you're old school, you can print the rosters and schedules and put them on your refrigerator if you want. So all kinds of cool stuff with the schedule here, and you can switch back and forth between baseball and football, etc. If your organization cares about results, once an administrator enters scores and chooses to publish those scores, they're viewable on the public website. So when someone logs in, they go to the results tab and they can see for baseball 2014, again, if it was a different sport, they change it. If it was a different division, they change it, or they could do it by day, they can print this. Anything you need, you can look at a game summary, and if the organization used the statistics module, the game summary would bring you to the statistics. You can look at the box scores of the baseball games. So the results is very neat to use also. That's important to your organization. And of course, results of games end up in standings. So they're used to calculate the standings, again, if you make it available. And we do know that standings are sport specific and will enforce your rules. We know that baseball has different standing rules than soccer, and that's all been programmed into the system. We also know that tournament standings may be calculated different than league standings. So we've thought about all this stuff, but it's very clean. The point that I want to make here is that this is the public view of the standings, and it's very clean, very easy to use, and again, integrated. So if I wanted to, I could click on the Clippers team, and it would bring me to the Clippers page with all the information specific to the Clippers. And of course, I touched a little bit on statistics, but we know that statistics are also sports specific. Yeah, you guys say that 3 times fast. Statistics may be sports specific. not easy. But again, if you allow statistics, you can customize them for your organization. And remember, this is all integrated, so it'll show on the main website, and it'll trickle down to the individual team websites. and it'll populate everywhere. And this is what the public view for the statistics looks like. Again, all up to you. You can choose whether you want to track runs or not. You can not track runs, and you can track just base hits, or you can track just home runs. You don't have to track anything. All customizable and up to you. So that's the cool stuff that's coming. There's more cool stuff coming in the fact that we might be able to save you some money, or you might be able to take care of or take advantage of the features that I have just shown. So I'm going to hand it back over to Christina. And Christina, thanks for not making fun of me while I stumbled over some of my words there.
I have to say that I was trying to say statistics. It's hard to say.
Yeah, right?
Good job, though. So I'm going to talk about the new pricing options, but before I talk about the new stuff, I'm going to talk about the old stuff. And you are currently, we're all referring internally to what your plan, in quotation marks, is what you're paying right now as the classic plan. And you have no annual subscription. Registration fees or sports sign-up fees really are based on what you charge your registrants for, as a fee to participate. For most of you anyway. I mean, others might have different plans. KidSafe Plus background checks. I'm just going to stick a pin in this right now because I have a whole other page just for KidSafe Plus. But the features are whatever features you currently have. You probably have online registration. You might be using KidSafe Plus as well. But then part of online registration is all the functionality that goes along with our product, of course. So it's like creating teams and doing the actual online registration and communicating with people and doing reporting and financing and team wall and all the rest of that good stuff. Now, we have 3 new plans. So this comes along with the new features that we're talking about. Honestly, we took a step back. I mean, this was an opportunity for us to look at the way that people use our system, and we know we do lots of surveys, or we do at least one big survey every year, but we certainly talk to people in support every single day, and we know that not everyone uses all of the functionality in our system today. For those people, Basic might be best for you. So there's an annual subscription of $49. The sports sign-up fee goes to a flat rate. It's $2.50 per registration if you use Sports Sign-Up's credit card processing, which is called Easy Merchant. If you use some other credit card processor, it's $3.25. That also applies. $3.25 applies per registration if you just do checks and cash. So the same would be there. So what's in the basic program? It's the classic features that you have right now. There's no scheduling. There's no texting. This is probably the way that a lot of people, the way that you work right now anyway. So you should certainly assess to see if this makes sense for you. The next one is the premium plan. Quite honestly, we think this is what most people will gravitate towards. And it's $2.99 as an annual subscription per year. The same $2.50 if you use Easy Merchant, $3.25 if you use another credit card processor or you do checks or cash. So that's all the classic features you're used to using, plus websites, scheduling, standing, statistics, domain hosting, and there's more too. So then there's Premium Plus, that's $5.99 per year. Same sports sign-up flat rate that we talked about already. That's has custom web design, There's unlimited hosted email addresses. There's also going to be officials management. That piece has not been developed and released yet, but that will be coming soon. Also, along with the flat rate pricing, so the new flat rate pricing, there's Easy Merchant credit card processing goes to 3.29% plus 30 cents per transaction. Just so you know, before we leave this page, if you get off this call and next week you go through and you do some testing, which is what we hope you do, and you decide that you like what you have with Sports Sign Up, you like the features that you're using today, and you like your pricing, you don't have to do anything. You can just continue along with the class plan as it stands right now.
Christina,
yep.
Can I just jump in? And that's a great point. And to the counter of that point, if you do want to take advantage of any of the new features that we've just shown you, websites and scheduling, etc., you do have to move to a plan. So just like you don't have to do anything, if you want to take advantage of those new things, you do have to move to the Premium or the Premium Plus plan. So, thanks.
Thanks, Matt. So KidSafe Plus, the title is price reduction, and quite honestly that's what we're expecting for most people. The changes in our pricing are going to be a reduction in what you're paying right now. The product itself does not change. So we have two plans right now. There's single name and there's alias. So single name, that means that when someone is doing a background check, they type in their name, the system is checking just that name that they enter. Alias is that the system is going to check every single name associated with the social security number that that registrant entered for the background check. So current fees are based on the number of background checks that that organization does over the course of the year. There's a discount if they also use us for online registration. What we're moving towards is $12 as per registration, or per background check rather, if you use single name search, $14 if you used alias name search. And for a lot of you out there, this will be a price reduction, which is great. If you happen to be an organization that, because of volume discounting, you're paying less than either the $12 or the $14, don't worry. You're just going to keep paying less. So you're not going to change. But so this is pretty much a win or stay the same for absolutely everyone who's on the call. And as I said, the product itself stays exactly the same. So coming soon, maybe some people had their ears up looking for Matt to say specific things during the course of the conversation. We want you to know that mobile apps, we do not have them today, but we are working on them. Our services are mobile friendly, so you can continue to use them. People are using team wall features now. So integrated officials management, I mentioned this briefly when I was talking about the Premium Plus. That's where it's going to live. We don't have it right now, but we really are working very hard to make it available to you soon. So we hope you are ready to try it. So that's where we are right now. And next week, when you sign into the system, we're saying August 6th, you'll notice those appearance changes that Matt reviewed with you, and you're going to get prompted. So you can look for this red button, start your free premium trial account. There's no reason not to, really. Just go in and play around with it, build out a website, see how it feels, start using some of the tools. It's free to try for 30 days, so why not? Just a quick summary. We've gone through a lot on this call. It feels like it, at least from where we're sitting. So the new features will be available next week. There are no changes to the registration for your families. So all the changes that Matt reviewed as far as the appearance stuff, that's just for you as administrators. And it's really just mostly navigation, a little bit of reorganization for some of the items. Everyone who's on this call will get a new welcome page. Matt showed you some of those changes. For the most part, it's just, appearance and a little bit of texture. So everything new is optional. If you like what you have right now, then you can just stay with it. You can keep your features, you can keep your pricing. But if you do want to take advantage of the flat fee pricing, just like Matt was saying before, you have to do something, and that's pick a plan. So it's either the basic, the premium plan, or the premium plus. And certainly if you want to have any of the new features, then it's going to be either premium or premium plus that you'll be selecting. And again, try the trial. It makes best sense just to do that. So do's and don'ts. This sounds kind of like we're scolding. We're really not. We want you to feel free to reach out to your account executive, because they have a lot of answers. You're certainly going to have questions, so by all means, reach out to your account exec. Give it a try. Again, compare your current process and see how it fits into your process. Assess the current costs. I mean, you might be able to move into a higher plan, one of the flat free price plans, and save money. You never know, so you should look at that. Don't panic when you log in next week. So now you know that there will be some appearance changes, but we think that once you use it just a few times, you'll see that it makes just much more sense. It's important to note that not only are all the tools that you're used to going to be in the system for you, all the data. So we know it might feel a little bit strange, but really everything that you have put into the system, it's all there, and you'll be able to find it. please don't, I'm actually begging, please don't request a website on leaguetoolbox.com. So we know that people are going to be really excited to get their hands on this and to get going. So Matt told me I should add a do, which is don't, oh wait, no, do be patient. Do be patient. Don't request a website. The reason that we say that is League Toolbox is still up and they're still running, and that's great, but it's a completely separate platform than the one that we're building out all this new stuff on. So please just wait until it's all available in the Sports Signup system so you don't waste any time messing around, like creating a website that's not going to be there for you in the Sports Signup system next week. And we just wanted to, just in case you're not sure who your account executive is, we separate the country based, or U.S. and Canada, of course, based on territories, and so Northeast, Southeast, Central, and West. You don't have to grab a pen or anything like that. All this information lives in your Sports Signup system, so if you're not sure who your account exec is, sign in as an administrator, go to Setup, Organization Settings, and Sports Signup Contacts, and you'll be able to find the person will be more than happy to answer your questions. We want to thank you very much for joining us on this call.
Chris, hold on. Yep. I got one more do for the previous slide.
Okay.
Do call us if you have questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't guess at it. Don't automatically think we don't do something, or automatically think we do something.
Yep.
Call us, and we're happy to talk to you.
Absolutely. Yep. Thanks for that, Matt. And thank you all for joining us.